Good afternoon, and welcome back to Asgard, and welcome back to our Stranded Forever modded Minecraft Let's Play series. So I'm just coming out of a blood moon right now. Since last episode, I've been trying to do a bunch of cleanup. I got our Tinker smelt removed, our extra utility stuff, all that Tinker stuff. Just a bunch of stuff cleaned up. I've started removing the cactus farm. We actually do have a lot of dirt in here, like quite a bit. 5 stacks. So that will definitely come in handy, and we'll get a new setup in place for making dirt and cactus and all of that in the very near future. I do have some mobs that manage to find their way in still. I do think they're jumping down. I'm pretty sure. But anyways, I started laying out, working in this room a little bit. I got Crystal Growth Accelerator set back up, and I got power coming in from a dimensional transceiver. And then I also went ahead and made up a bunch of pure fluics and stuff that we would need. And I also finished out... Oh, we unlocked this quest. I didn't realize that. I did finish out the AE2 power quest. And... yeah, okay. This tab is actually really, really cool. We'll talk about that in just a second. But we just now unlocked it. I just know about it because Sheridan was telling me about it before. I also had a really awesome comment about putting glowstone and nether quartz into these. For some reason I was thinking that if we made, like say I pulled out like a stack of glowstone, that it wouldn't go back in the glowstone dust or something. I don't know why I was thinking that, but so I did change that over, and we've got glowstone and nether quartz going in there. Why? They keep spawning inside of there, which is interesting. I didn't think they could spawn, you know, if there was liquid in there like that. Oh, he doesn't make Resonant Ender. Well, I guess it's because Resonant Ender's not in this pack yet. But that makes sense. But anyways, this is our Tinker's smeltery. And then we're going to set up a Tinker's tank, which I'm going to do that on camera because that's a very new block, a new multi-block, and it's absolutely amazing. If you haven't played around with it, we'll be playing around with that very, very soon. Also in here, I've been working on some extra utility stuff. Oh, I do have travel anchors set up around the base now, too, to a lot of our primary rooms so far. But this is our extra utility setup with water meals. This is the one I've done like in all my other series. Basically, it's just source blocks, 4 source blocks there, and then I've also got some source blocks along this, so that each of these are producing 16 GP. And then back in here, I've just got 2, and source block here, there, and there. And so these are producing 16, just so that we kind of have these. Of course, I haven't finished the walls here, but we kind of have these kind of coming out like pillars, kind of like thicker pillars. And I may end up doing some other stuff around like that. We'll see. I'm just kind of playing around in that room right now. And some of the GP might go under the floor here, because underneath here, I did go down here and light this up. It was somewhere in here that I dug out, but then I put the block back. I don't know why I did that, because now I can't get down there. But anyways, we may put some more GP down there. And I haven't tried replacing this stuff yet for the witch water, just because I was like, well, it's probably just going to disappear again. So I'm going to wait, because I know there's an update coming very, very soon. And so I'm just going to wait on that before replacing the blast furnaces and all that. So... but anyways, today we're going to be messing with Applied Energistics, so fun times. And we do have a quest here. I'm going to go ahead and do it first to get an ME chest and the ME storage cell, because we do get a lifeblood crystal, which is awesome, which would move us up to, what, 7 hearts, which would definitely come in handy. Before we get started, let's take a look at this collector quest. This thing's actually really, really cool. So this first one, you need, what is this? 90 million dirt. And then we also have like cobble, and it's a lot of stuff like this where it takes like a bunch of things, like 1,000 of each of these saplings, 20,000 blocks of diamond. Then you need a bunch of sand, you need a bunch of sandstone. We're actually probably fairly close to this one, if I'm being totally honest. And then right here we need 10,000 nether stars. But you'll notice that we do get creative spikes and infinite water source blocks. So very, very nice. I don't know if this is a new feature, but I just jumped in this water, and it kept dropping my temperature until I was, like, kind of neutraled out. So, I don't know if that's... Because used to you had to just keep jumping in and out of the water to get your temperature down, but now it seems like you can just stand in there, which is actually very, very nice. That's like what I was hoping for, because it makes more sense. Like, just hang out in the water for a second, chill out, and then it'll cool you down. So, still got to go through and put more coils down and stuff, and get rid of some of these torches. That's a lot of the problem. Is I have a lot of torches, but we're to the point now where heat is not as big of an issue as long as I keep an eye on it. So, I'm not as concerned about that. But anyways, we're going to need an ME chest and a 1K ME storage cell. So, the ME chest, I don't believe that's going to be an issue at all. We'll go ahead and just make our illuminated panels. We're going to need them anyway, so that's not really a concern. And then the ME terminal, we're going to need some formation cores and annihilation cores. We're also going to need logic processors. And we'll just go with a Certus quartz cutting knife. Would actually be the easiest. Strangely enough, like, nether quartz I think is a little bit more expensive than Certus quartz at this point. So, we'll go ahead and snag that. And then we're going to want to make ourselves some logic processors. So we're going to need printed logic circuits, which are crafted just like this. We are going to need some silicone and some gold. I do have silicone. So let me go grab some of that real quick. Alright, so our printed logic circuits, I'm going to go ahead and just get like... Oh, yeah, this is going to be a major pain because it doesn't want to shift click with that. Oh my gosh. Okay, funny story, this doesn't even craft with this. Oh man, this is like broken. That is the right recipe, right? Gold, redstone, silicon. Yes. God, okay. Okay, yeah, change of plans. I'm not going to be doing applied energistics today, because until that's fixed, that is just... that's just too much. Like having to craft a new cutting knife every time you go to make anything. I'll tell you what, let me try one thing here, and that is, what if we made just a bunch of them at once? Would it have to recraft again? So there's our Certus quartz cutting knife, and then the logic processors, gold, redstone. I think I put that stuff up. Let me grab that again. Okay, so if we were to shift click this, it still only crafts one at a time. Oh, there's no way. That is just too much of a headache to do that one at a time. I'm going to try it with the nether quartz cutting knife. Maybe that would be different. Or does the nether quartz cutting knife not even work? Nether quartz cutting knife doesn't even do anything. Oh man. Okay. Yeah, that can only be used to make cable anchors. And there's no meteors that spawn like in the world. With it being, it's kind of like Sky Factory. Like this stuff doesn't naturally spawn into the world. So that's like the only... I'm just going to throw all that junk in there. That's like the only option to get into applied energistics is that. And printed silicon is the same way. Or printed silicon is not the same way. The only way to craft that is with the press. So I'm going to go to the city. Maybe the presses are there and I just didn't know about it. So that's where we're going to head out to. Alright, so we're back into the city now. It's been a while. Things have changed now. We can just do this. Control circuit board. I don't foresee that being very useful for us at the moment. You do want to be careful because theoretically those blazes could just burn the chests and your stuff could just be gone. Which would be no fun at all, I'm sure. Anyway, that building, we've tackled all of that. Alright, I think I've went through, like, all the buildings. And, well, I mean, I'm still coming across a few every once in a while that I apparently haven't been through. But, I mean, there's no sign of any presses or any applied energistics stuff at all, really. So... I do believe that we're not going to be able to get into that today. I apologize. That's what I had planned on. I didn't think about not being able to make the stuff with the cutting knife. Okay, well I'm going to head on back to the base, and we're going to have a little change of plans. Okay, one last thing that we could try is maybe the meteorite compass. Maybe there's actually meteors. There's not. That's why it spins around in a circle, is there are 0 meteors in the world. So, from what I can tell, there is no way to get the presses. Alright, I've got some grout cooking up now, and actually, let me switch these capacitors for right now. So we've got that grout cooking up, and instead of that then, we are going to get into the Tinker's tank. Because the episode, you know, I spent a while getting into... How are you living right now? Okay, well anyways, I spent a while trying to do applied energistics, and that didn't work out. So, we are going to do the Tinker's tank. So the first thing that we're going to want to do, just to make it easier on us, is let's go ahead and get our materials and U-book. So it's just a book and a blank pattern. I don't believe that we already have one, do we? Okay, we do have a materials and U-book. Sounds good. And I'll message Sheridan right after this episode, and I'll let him know that AE2 doesn't work. So hopefully he'll get that fixed fairly soon. But anyways, we have 3 different multi-blocks now with Tinker's constructs. We still have our normal smeltery that we've already covered and got into. But we also have the seared furnace and the Tinker's tank. Now the seared furnace, we're going to set that up later on. Basically, it's like a super cooker. Basically, you could throw in like half stacks of food or whatever, and it'll just cook it like really, really quick. So we'll definitely get into that probably for our ore processing, and just have like a super seared furnace or something. Or like just a general like cooking area. So everything that needs to be cooked for our AE system can just go there and get cooked. But the Tinker's tank, this thing is absolutely amazing. It's crafted, or it's set up just like this. It can be anything like the other multi-blocks, any size from 3x3 to 11x11 with any height. It does have to have a minimum of at least a 3 on its height. So, and you'll notice there's a couple different drain slots. Basically, you're going to insert liquid into that with a drain, and then you can output the liquid once again with a drain. Now, we're going to use 3 drains, and we can't craft faucets, can we? Oh, never mind. I already have 2 faucets. I don't need any more faucets. Yeah, from the other smelter that we had. Now, in addition, let's go ahead. Actually, let's go ahead and plot this out. So I'm going to want this the same size as our smeltery, is what I'm thinking. And we're going to do it mainly out of glass on the front sides, just because I think it's going to look rather good. And let's go ahead and put one of our smeltery drains, I want it right here. Because basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have, whenever you pull a lever, I'm going to have the liquid from this tank go into this tank. And this one's just going to be for cooking down liquids, making alloys and stuff like that. And then it's going to go into this. Then you also need to make at least a frame on the top out of just seared bricks. Actually, I think I want to go with the other patterns for this stuff. Like what I did with the tank, or the smeltery. I do like those a bit more. So let's make a bit more of these. Honestly, probably like 2 stacks. What you can do is you can cycle these through until you find the block that you like. They did make it a lot easier to sort through these and figure out the blocks you want, all that good stuff. So what we're going to go with are these seared roads, because I do quite like these, like the way they look and everything. Now we are going to have to make a layer here. This layer you're not going to be able to see for the most part. The front will be open with glass, but we're going to do it just like this one over here. So we'll do like that. And then the whole middle section of this could be glass if you so desire. But with the way that I'm setting it up, I want it pretty much the same as this smeltery is. So what we'll do is we'll just go ahead and make a frame here. And this top side, the frame of it is like the bottom. It has to be out of seared bricks or drains. Yeah, we're already out of them. Yeah, we're going to need more of these, I can already tell. For sure. And then this seared glass here is just 4 seared bricks and a piece of glass in the middle. But let me make up a bit more grout real quick, and I'll be back in just a few minutes once we get the tank set up. We're going to need a controller for this. So the way you craft that is just a bucket with some seared bricks. Get you the Tinker's tank controller, And we're just going to put this down like right here so it's opposite our smeltery controller. And then we'll go ahead and fill that in. So it is a valid multi-block now. You'll notice it can hold 12,444 ingots and 64 millibuckets. So, and then I've got this drain up here. I did raise the ceiling. I forgot that this actually needs to come up just like this one. So now they match. I like that. And I will probably fill this in, you know, here shortly. But we need drains on this. And I'm not entirely sure if a drain like right here would work. It doesn't say anything about the drain. It only says about the Tinker Tank controller. So we're going to try and put like a drain right here. It does appear to still be a valid multi-block. And then we could just put our faucets like right there. And then do our casting basin and casting table right here. Oh, I like this. Now let me go get some conduits. I need just like one fluid conduit and then just a couple redstone conduits. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to attach these two drains here, and we're going to say that you can extract with a signal, and then of course you can insert. And then what we'll do is we'll bring our insulated redstone conduit down. I'm going to set up seared stone right there, and I'll bring it up in a second. But we're going to attach our insulated redstone conduit to that seared stone. And we're just going to bring it down like that. And then let me just attach it to the stone here. Like so. And we'll go ahead and do that as in and out as well. And so now what we can do is we can attach a lever onto that stone, and it'll allow us to drain liquids. However, one thing I'm going to show you, this is a really, really neat block. I believe it's new to 1.10, and I noticed it the other day in my test world, and I was like, oh man, I love this block. So if we take some redstone, let's go with like 3 pieces. There's 4 different versions of this, but I think we're going to go with the 1 minute one. Because basically I don't want to, you know, maybe I come in here after I just drain the liquid and I don't think about the lever being down, and I don't want to start trying to make an alloy and then it just automatically gets sucked out of this, because this tank here doesn't make alloys. There's no heat in this. So if you were to put, say, gold and silver and all this different stuff that could make alloys, and you send it into this tank, it's not going to make an alloy. So this is perfect for storing like a mass number of liquids and being able to, you know, access them and select what liquid you want to go into your casting tables without worrying about them mixing and all of that. Plus it has just massive liquid storage. So what we're going to do is we're going to take just a standard lever and just attach some redstone to it. Now, 1 piece of redstone, you'll notice it makes a self-resetting lever for 10 seconds. 2 pieces makes 30 seconds. 3 pieces makes 1 minute, and then 4 pieces will make 5 minutes. Now, I think 1 minute is probably sufficient for my needs, so I'm going to go ahead and go with a 1 minute self-resetting lever. So what will happen is after 1 minute, this will reset and turn the redstone signal off. But as long as it has a signal, you'll notice that it's pulling out that manual, and it's going into here. And actually, I just realized that I should probably go with a pressurized conduit, I think. Because this is taking a really long time to move liquid. Okay, actually I found a ender conduit. What? Oh, okay. So we're going to say you can extract with a signal on red. And so now, if we were, and we'll go ahead and tell this one it can only insert. And this drain doesn't have to be at the bottom of this tank or any of that stuff. It's fine wherever. And we can move our liquids around just like, you know, with a normal tank. We can pour them out, but it's not going to create any alloys at all on us, which is absolutely wonderful. Like, for example, right now I'm cooking up a bunch of gold and a piece of silver to show you, like, of course, the silver and gold is going to combine. It's going to make electrum. So there's our silver, and as soon as this gold finishes, there we go, you'll notice that it's pulling out that gold and it is creating molten electrum right now. So we've got 2 electrum and 4 gold. So let's go ahead and pull that. It pulls all the liquid out. Ooh, with that ender conduit, it's actually like super fast. May not even need the self-resetting lever. I just wanted it just in case I happen to forget about it. I come back, I start smelting things up to make alloys, and they're getting pulled out. And now if we were to smelt up this silver, now we can, if we wanted to set up like a system to pull this liquid back out, we could do that. If we wanted to say like have a bunch of gold, have a bunch of silver, and then if we wanted to make an alloy, just move it over and then so on. Okay, that silver is melted down. So you'll notice if I pull that silver out of here, that silver and that gold do not combine because there's no heat, and so they can't create an alloy. So very, very handy. I do absolutely love this tank. I find it funny that mobs are just spawning inside of there. They're just like, hi. Eventually they'll just be covered up with liquid, so it's not really going to matter, I guess. But yeah, so that is the Tinker's tank. And like I said, there's also a furnace, which we'll probably get into that just, you know, down the road, just to have a super smelter type thing. But absolutely love this multi-block. I think it's very, very useful because, you know, I like having a bunch of liquids on hand, but I don't necessarily want them all to just combine and make all these alloys and all that stuff. So this will definitely come in handy. And it's still, we've got 74 ingots worth in here, and it can still hold 12,444 more ingots worth of metals. So in the past, I always had like, I would set up like tanks and have like faucets on those, and basically all the liquid would get filtered to different places when I pulled the lever. But honestly, I like having this just big tank a lot more. I think it'll be a lot more useful and a lot more convenient, really, than having to run those conduits everywhere. So, and this way we can have a clean controller so that, you know, if we throw in a bunch of gold, it's not going to be like, oh, well, you had some silver left over, let's make an alloy. We can always just empty it and then do stuff. Now, like I said, you can, if you want to, you can make it so that your liquids will pump back into here using like a filter and then changing the filter based on what you want to move. But I'm not quite so concerned about that, I guess. We may end up adding it down the road. I don't know. We'll see. If I feel like I have a need for it, I guess we will. But as of right now, I think I'm pretty happy with that. So, but anyways, I'm going to end out the episode there. I apologize we weren't able to do applied energistics. Like I said, I'm gonna message Sheridan and let him know, and maybe that'll get sorted out fairly soon, because AE2, I really want to get that, at least auto crafting and stuff, done and storage before we get into Woot, because Woot is something, like I said, that takes a lot of tiers. So if you wanted, say, like Mob Factory Tier 4, you're going to have to make these factory caps, you're going to have to make factory casings, casting dies, these under iron plates, which take plate dies. You've also got factory connectors, connector dies, and then you have the encrusted skulls, diamond encrusted, gold encrusted, all these take skull dies. It's a lot to just sit down and be like, okay, we're going to handcraft all this. Like, I'd rather just automate it from the get-go so that we could expand Woot, you know, as we want to, and not have to craft all those little nitpicky pieces. I don't think the resources are going to be that expensive. It's just, it's so much tier crafting. It's like solar panels. I hate crafting solar panels by hand. I just wait until I have AE and then do it. Like the tiered solar panels, because I hate crafting tier things. The same way with Jabba barrels. I used to hate crafting Jabba barrel upgrades because they just had like a million steps to get like the high-end stuff. And so I was just like, well, I'll just get auto crafting first. So, but we'll see. I mean, if AE2 is not fixed very, very soon, then we'll probably just make some like maybe super crafting frames or something and just do it that way. That's a possibility as well. I'd just rather do it with AE2 from the start. So, but we'll see. I'll play around with the idea and maybe give it like another 2 episodes or something. And if it's not fixed by then, we're just going to do it anyway. So, But anyways, next episode, unless AE2 is fixed, next episode we're probably going to be working on our cobble gen and auto farms, because we need crops, like a greenhouse style crop farm that's not going to die at wintertime each season, and one that I don't have to manually gather, because I haven't been doing it very well. We still got food because those juices go really, really far, but I'll admit I haven't been actually gathering my food as much as I should, so, or as much as I could anyway, I guess. But anyways, I hope you guys join me for that, and as always, if you guys enjoyed the episode, be sure and hit that like button, and go ahead and subscribe if you're not already for more daily videos. And yeah, so until next episode, as always, do take care, stay safe, and I hope to see you guys next time.